We're here at the Mackinac Policy Conference with mayoral candidate Todd Perkins. Mr. Perkins, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. We got a big debate tonight.
Right.
That's going to be taking place
Right.
with several of the mayoral candidates. How you feeling about the debate, man?
Well, I'm interested to see what these candidates are going to say. As a lot of people understand, I was not invited, but I have come here with my team to make sure that people understand that I'm serious about this race, I'm serious about the city, and regardless of whatever it takes, we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that our platform's known and that the people get their voice out, because we believe we're the voice of the people.
And what was the explanation that the chamber gave you for not inviting you to participate in the debate tonight?
Well, there were some objective factors, and then there were some subjective factors, and what I like to call soup, a sort of an amalgam of things that they said they just didn't have enough time to have more of the candidates. And I didn't look at that as, well, I accepted what they said, but at the same time, that's why I'm here to see what's going on and to see why they might have made that decision. I don't agree with that decision, obviously. I know I'm the serious candidate. I know I'm the most qualified candidate. I mean, when I'm saying things that are objective measures, I mean, there's no one who has more experience than me in municipal operations. There's no one who has more experience than me in legal operations. And, you know, I've, for an entire portion of my, entire part of my career and in my life, there's no one who has more community service and more commitment to the community than myself. So, and at some point in time, you know, as a poor cobbler that doesn't wear his own shoes. So, you know, it may sound arrogant, and I don't mean to be that way. I'm just stating facts.
We're, you know, everybody has that August 5th date circled on their calendar for the primary, but in reality, absentee ballots go out at the end of June.
Absolutely.
And so this race, you know, it's already been running, but people are going to start casting their ballots for who they want to be the next leader of the city within a matter of 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yes.
What's your last push effort to the people over these next few weeks to showcase to them why they should vote for you?
Well, we're going to continue on our platform, and we believe that our platform is superior to anyone else, and it's substantive. And what I mean by that, it has details. It's not and it's not to denigrate anyone else, and it's not to put down anyone else, but it's really to indicate to you, we are the premium candidate that people should understand. But one of the things I do want to state, go back a little bit, is that, in fact, early voting starts, I believe July 1st, or it's 30 days before. So along with absentee, people are allowed to vote at least 30 days before. So the importance of absentee ballots is it's going to be a substantially higher percentage of individuals who are going to cast votes if they sought out an absentee ballot. And that's why they're very important individuals to attach yourself to. And who are the people who vote absentee? A lot of them are people who are seniors. A lot of them are people who are not, you know, business people who might not have an opportunity to vote on August 5th. They're going to take that opportunity to have absentee vote ballots. We're looking at all of those individuals, but also in our campaign, we're the only campaign that's set up in every district and coordinated in every district to canvass, knock doors, and to make sure that our voice is understood. And, you know, getting yard signs out. Yard signs are probably more important than commercials, because if you get a yard sign out, what you have is, from the social media terms, you got engagement. You know, and so we're engaging people on that sort of ground level perspective, and that's where the real battle's fought.
What do you think, what do you make of all the times that the candidates have been able to convene together in the same space of the past couple months? We've seen several forums and panel discussions, and some have looked a little bit different than others in terms of the flow and the style.
Right.
What do you make of everything that's been going and how the candidates have been interacting with one another so far?
So interaction is what I do. As a lawyer, I interact, I engage. We have, you know, legal fisticuffs at times. So I've enjoyed every single one of them. And let me say this, having an opportunity to talk to people, to see people's desires and their wants, I've never had an experience like that in my life. and I've enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoy the people, and this is a job, and a job of service. You got to love the people in order to want to serve the people. And so I've loved every debate, or forums as they call them, or debates. And some have sort of morphed into debates, even if they weren't supposed to be debates. And I think that for people to decry the imbalance or the lack of preparation to some of them, I think that's a disservice to the people who had good intentions and have good intentions to get the voice of the people out. And so we're looking to hear the voice of the people, and that's what we want to hear. And so those that might, say that, well, this event right here was, I heard one of them was called a circus. I took umbrage with that, because you hear the outcry of people more so, and you get a chance to have candidates respond to that and react to that. So that's what you want, in the moment responses, not something that's canned and prepared. And that's what's so important about debates rather than forums. So, but even with the forums, I've enjoyed them. I'm going to continue to enjoy them. I'll make as many as I can, but more importantly, I'm going to be on the streets, knocking on doors and talking to those people and their neighbors and whomever.
One thing that I'm interested in understanding is, we hear from people who are seeking office, because this would be your first time in an elected capacity if you are to become Detroit's next mayor.
Right.
Have you sought counsel from any previously elected officials in the city of Detroit just to better understand the landscape and what could potentially come with this role?
Absolutely. It would be unwise not to seek counsel. It would be unwise to not seek mentorship. I continue to seek that, and I continue to seek from people who've had experiences. Let's understand this. I represent the Detroit City Council. So some of those members still I talk to, and still I get information from, and get, as you might say, counsel from them. I've represented politicians and elected officials throughout the state, and all of them have provided good information as far as what the job entails, even if they've been in various different positions. So yeah, absolutely. Answer to that question is yes. I have sought counsel. I continue to seek it. And I think it's important to understand from people's various different experiences, what is the job become? And I think many people don't understand what it is to come, but I do.
One last question I want to end with. What do you think is going to be Detroit's biggest issue in 2026? And how will you solve that issue to ensure that it doesn't become too cumbersome for the people of Detroit to handle?
Well, I think the biggest issue is being able to continue the momentum. Progress is relative, right? What I mean by that is progress in the city of Detroit has been geographically centered. And there's other areas that don't feel progress. And I think that's where you see a lot of people who are giving responses, and you hear the uproar about, when is it going to come to me? So, but momentum is real. That has been created, and creating that and continuing that momentum, not only in the people's expectations, but in the business community's desire to remain in that momentous mentality. And funding, to answer your question, funding is going to continue to be the biggest issue that we have. We have to continue those things, because we already understand we're not going to have the same amount of funding that Mr. Duggan's had, or Mayor Duggan has had over the past 12 years. He had a swoon of incursions of cash over his tenure as mayor. So that's going to be and it's going to require creativity. It's going to require interaction, the ability to interact, knowing who to interact with whom to interact, and also growing the people from those people who are already invested, bringing their friends, bringing those other corporations, and making it incentivizing that growth. Yeah. So it's going to require money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for stopping by and chatting with the Chronicle here at the Mackinac Policy Conference, and best of luck to you in the upcoming election.
They say it's better to be lucky than good. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right.